A few years ago, I had a vision of a person who was born into this world that they knew nothing about. A world teeming with heterogeneous monsters we theorized about racism, injustice, poverty, oppression, problems built upon sadness. But that person did not know anything about that yet. That person was concerned with more immediate necessities, like kicking and wiggling their little arms and feet, amazed at the tender power and growing necessity of their limbs. I am talking about a baby, a beautiful baby, brown, black, white, or a shade of everything. A few years later, that baby would harness the power of speech. Mama, dada. A few years later, that baby would understand the most dangerous word, no. No, don't do that. No, don't say that. No, don't speak that way. No, you can't go to school because your hair is dirty, because your skin is too dark, because your skin is not brown enough, because you cannot pronounce your name, and because you have to work to support the familia. I stand before you all today to tell you that my vision of this baby is alive and real. They are sitting here with us, adorned in black and burgundy robes on top of nice dresses and shirts and ties. I stand before you all today to conjecture something about these people who are as beautiful as the day they were born. You see, a few years later, after learning the word no, they began to say yes. Yes to their dreams, yes to their goals, yes to the limitless possibilities they could accomplish. Yes, even to the education system that perhaps is still broken with a leaky educational pipeline. A few years later, some of us may have said, school's not for me. My counselor said I can't take AP classes nor apply to college. I don't have legal documentation status, so I can't continue my education, the great equalizer. Or no one considers me human enough to pursue my educational dreams. Inevitably, these people continue to say yes and graduated high school. Some took some time off. Some joined the military service, professionalism, parenthood, or some took the community college route and others directly into a four-year institution. After high school, a few things happened to these people. They might have learned what the word Chicana, Chicano, and queer meant, or what it meant to self-identify ourselves as black, as a mujer, as a transgender person of color, as an activist or an ally. These people might have protested, legalize me too, armas with. They might have worn Greek letters representing a system that may have not been made for people of color, yet they cherish their brothers and sisters. Anyways, they might have listened to Bohemian Rhapsody or Tupac Shakur while studying for their comprehensive exams or CSETs. They might have explored or asserted their sexuality identity, perhaps a sexual identity that California voters unfortunately do not think is valid yet. They might have felt that the University of Redlands was not for them because of the macroaggressions they encountered became macro monster aggressions. Others might have balanced working part-time or full-time and their class caseloads while still completing their internships and their student teaching hours. This speech is called A Few Years Later because we all can trace our life's path to the beautiful baby I began talking about. Not all of us may be able to identify with some of the situations and struggles I have described, but everyone here at one point began to say yes to our education and consequently yes to the advancements of our communities. Each and every one of my fellow graduates, when they tell their story 20 years from now or tomorrow at breakfast, will be able to say a few years later, I graduated from the University of Redlands. You see, it is important to look back at our life's past in order to look forward a few years later. You all will be somewhere in a different time and space, and it is up to every one of us to actively condition that future people and our students will have of us. For as Cesar Chavez once said, when social change begins, it cannot be reversed. You cannot uneducate the person who has learned to read. You cannot humiliate the person who feels pride. You cannot oppress the people who are not afraid anymore. We have seen the future, and the future is ours. You cannot say no to the people who have said yes for so long. You cannot say no to the 2019 School of Education graduates. Go forth, graduates, and do what you have been doing. Remember that you began something the day you began formal education. You began it, and just because you're graduating today doesn't mean that it is over. No, it is just the beginning, and I charge you, future educational historical figures, and you, audience members and guests, to continue to steer your life's path towards a future where social change and social justice is not only possible, but that it becomes as natural as a newborn's desire to learn. Now for my personal thank yous. and gracias. Thank you to the entire staff and faculty of the University of Redlands School of Education for assisting and guiding all of us along the way. A special thank you to my dissertation committee, Dr. Angela Clark-Taylor, Dr. Adriana Alvarado, and Dr. Greg Hamilton, for believing and supporting me and for being the best and most empowering committee anyone could have asked for. To my fellow graduates, thank you for allowing me to be your student speaker and for sharing your knowledge with me throughout the years. To my friends and loved ones, thank you for always being there for me and for continuously letting me to vent through this entire process. To my familia, my tias, my tios, my chubbies and bubbas, mil gracias for believing in my crazy dreams and being my lifesavers. San, my sister, the traveling pants, and Pepe, my baby brother. I cannot thank you enough for being my best friends, my rocks, and my life supports, and for always comforting, making me laugh, and being my shoulders to cry on. Ama, apa, we did it. We got our papita hat. We got a doctorate. This one is ours. For my triumphs will always be yours too, because with all of your sacrifices and veladoras, I wouldn't be here today. Lastly, a few years later, I leave you with the wise words of Paulo Freire. Education does not change the world, rather it changes the people who will change the world. So I charge you, class of 2019 graduates, to be the educational change of tomorrow. Thank you.